Now, my first question to you, how many of you have ever heard of Caseflow management? Okay. How many of you know what it is? Okay. We're going to talk again, of course, about the definition and the elements and the goals and so forth in a minute. But the purpose of this presentation is to give you some fundamental principles of Caseflow management. It's to give the basic framework for Caseflow, why it is important to have an effective Caseflow management system, the benefits that you have by that, and also how do you implement some of these strategies that deal with this particular issue. Caseflow management really came into prominence back in the 1970s and 1980s, that there were a number of focuses nationally on Caseflow management as a result of a number of issues. And it became very prominent focus in court administration. And there were a number of experts that are still around today that really developed the science of Caseflow management. But after the 80s, it kind of waned in relevance and importance because of a number of reasons. But one of the reasons was that there was a large turnover of judges, and those that were exposed to these processes and so forth left, and the new judges came in, didn't have the history, didn't have an understanding of it, and so forth. But in the last several years, or the last 10 years, it has started to reemerge with some great significance because of a number of reasons. And one of the reasons that we're all experiencing it to a great degree, we've talked about it a little bit, is the diminishing resources that the court system, not just the judges, not just the staff, but the whole court system, that we're all experiencing resource problems. And at the same time, we are asked to do more, it seems like, with less resources. So it makes sense that how we deal with this Caseflow management in an effective way is going to help address that issue, that we may be able to get these things done with the resources that we are limited with. The types of cases and the number of cases and the volumes of cases have increased. That impacts Caseflow management. If we don't able to deal with those cases in a reasonable, fair, and just process, we lose a lot of things: credibility, confidence, and the public confidence, and things such as that. So that's a factor that is bringing this back to the forefront, and also accountability issues. The public's perception and the public's confidence in the court system seems to erode a great deal because of the media and how they cover things. And, most people get their perception of how the judges work in the justice system based upon Judge Judy and those 10,000 other judges that have these court programs. They don't have a real understanding. The other thing is that when you don't have very efficient court management of cases and so on, the public that has to interact with the court, they are becoming very dissatisfied, having to come back to court time and time again, and nothing gets resolved over a long period of time. When clients are having to sit in jail for a long period of time because cases can't get on the docket or can't get resolved or disposed of in a timely fashion. Public confidence seems to be eroding because of that. The perception of the justice system is that it's not necessarily just all the time because of a lot of reasons. So all of these things together has kind of put another focus on effective Caseflow management. And to kind of give a little bit background, American University has partnered with BJA to do this Caseflow initiative throughout the United States. And as Terry mentioned, Carolyn Cooper is the Associate Director of the Justice Programs Office in American University. And I will mention now and also at the end, if you are in need of some type of technical assistance along these lines, I urge you, please call Carolyn Cooper. Over my years of working with them as a recipient of their technical assistance and also as a consultant, they are extremely accommodating and are very interested in helping out. So just give Carolyn a call if you feel you need some technical assistance. They have done a number of these workshops. As a matter of fact, as I speak now, there's one being conducted in the state of Tennessee. A couple of weeks ago, we did one in Denver or Greeley, Colorado. And the format that we normally develop for this is a day and a half workshop focused only on case flow management. And I understand that with 2 hours, I need to kind of preference the talk to let you know we've tried to condense that down to 2 hours to make it relevant for you and so forth. And one of the ways that we tried to make it more relative, we sent out a survey, and I want to thank everybody for responding to that that identified some areas of interest that you have in case flow management, as well as some issues that you may have had that are not really tied to case flow, but are tied to your indigent representation. And in listening to the presenters and so forth, I see that a lot of those issues were addressed by those experts. And hopefully we can address those issues that were raised in your survey dealing with case flow management. On behalf of American University and Carolyn Cooper, I want to thank Terry. I want to thank Mr. Bethke, and also want to thank Mary Coward for the wonderful assistance that you all have provided for this presentation today. I'm going to talk perhaps about 45 minutes. We'll do some interactive exchanges, hopefully, questions and answers. Richard's going to talk for about 15 minutes, and then I'll wrap it up with a brief presentation at the end. But it won't be a continuous South Alabama, Northwest Florida drawl that you're here for 2 hours. You have in front of you a resource book that was compiled by American University. If you are interested and have the time to do it, I suggest that it would be very helpful to you. There are guides for evaluating case flow. There's sample documents such as continuance policies, things such as that deal directly with the case flow management, and I think would be very, very helpful to you. Just as briefly, how many judges do we have here? Okay. And how many prosecutors? Defenders? County administration? Other? There's nothing wrong with being other, I can tell you. We do have a diverse group, and that is good. Because when we're talking about effective and efficient case flow management, we're really talking about a systems approach, as has been referred to in a number of presentations. And it's good to have people that deal in the system from whatever capacity or perspective that you have, because you are going to be part of this solution in the event your jurisdiction elects to try to implement some of these case flow management strategies. So it's good that you're here again, because it is a collaborative effort, a system-wide approach to dealing with these particular issues. Now, I don't know that I'm going to ask you to raise your hand, but I am going to pose some questions to you, especially those that understand or have heard of case flow management. How many of you feel that the jurisdiction that you work in has effective case flow management strategies and techniques that are already incorporated? Okay. And what would you base that assumption on? Anybody?
I would say we had about a 40% increase in cases, and we managed to keep up with it.
You have a data collection system, and you're able to evaluate the numbers and so forth through your information gather management.
What I should have said was, since we implemented differentiated development case
Okay. Judge?
Attorneys are appointed quickly, and the participants are attentive to their work, and we dispose of many cases as they're filed.
In a timely, do you have time standards in your jurisdiction?
Well, they're disposed of timely, and we don't have strict standards.
Yeah. Okay.
Some cases linger longer than others, but typically they're resolved, felonies are resolved within 9 months or so.
Okay. How many, and again, you don't have to raise your hand, are in work in jurisdictions that you think case flow management could be improved or enhanced? Okay. And that is based upon what type of assessment that you may have made? Okay. Okay. Somebody else want to suggest? Okay. Yeah. Jail population, resources, and so forth. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I think that, did you want to say something? No, okay. I think that most jurisdictions, in some form or fashion, experience some case flow issues, regardless of the size, regardless of the location, regardless of the uniqueness of that. And then there's some other jurisdictions that have very efficient case flow management systems that are in place. I know we had lunch with Judge Carr from Tarrant County. We talked about that. They had some technical assistance that helped develop some effective case flow management strategies, and it seems to be working real well. The point is that regardless of the type of jurisdictions that you come from, research has shown that if you're from a small jurisdiction, it doesn't make case flow management any easier necessarily. And if you happen to be from a large jurisdiction, it doesn't make it that much more difficult necessarily, which suggests to me and to you that there are other overriding issues of case flow management other than just the size of the jurisdiction and so forth that make case flow management work better or perhaps not work better. And again, it has been touched on already in a lot of the presentations, and it may be the leadership that is the driving force. It may be that in those jurisdictions that have good programs, there's a great degree of collaboration among the stakeholders of the criminal justice system. And it may be just the opposite for those that don't, that there is no relationship, there is no collaboration, there is no exchange between the criminal justice agencies and the courts. Or the judge or whoever is trying to move or improve the case flow. So it doesn't make any difference in terms of your size as to whether you can have a good system or you're not going to have a good system. Each one's going to present some unique challenges that you're going to have to deal with, and you deal with those through the collaboration, through leadership, things such as that, through the relationships that you develop. So our first slide, let's find out what case flow management is. It's the coordination of court processes and resources to move cases timely from one disposition to disposition, regardless of the type of disposition. And I looked at that definition, and the first impression that you may get is that it's just a matter of speeding up cases to disposition. It is not, I repeat, it is not a matter of speeding up the process or the disposition of cases just for the sake of speed. There are other elements and other components of effective case flow management that are extremely important. But basically it is coordination of all these processes, which again involve everything that y'all have talked about this morning. The early appointment of counsel for indigent defendants. That's a case flow management issue. It also, the screening of mental health cases early on, access to those resources. That's a case flow management issue. To the extent that if we don't do those things, it delays the process, the timely disposition of the case. And the goal of the case flow management is to maximize the achievement of a just result in each case as expeditiously as possible. The key word in that goal is just. Now, it's easy to think of case flow management as, again, expediting the process, but if we really think about it, in terms of what you're talking about, the issues you're dealing with, and the overall thing, we're talking about justice. There is a connection, and there is a linkage between a just result and process and a timeliness. You have all heard the phrase, I'm sure, justice delayed is justice denied. Well, in reality, it is. There are certain cases, of course, that are going to take a certain length of time, and I'm not talking about those. But by and large, when cases are delayed unreasonably with no just cause, it does impact the justice of that particular cause. Witnesses disappear. Witnesses' memories change. The whole complexion of a case can change. You can have a client that's sitting in jail for an inordinate amount of time, waiting to get to court and so forth. And when those cases are delayed for whatever reason of the court process, justice really isn't done in those particular circumstances. So when we talk about case flow management and the goal of case flow management, the first goal is justice. And we achieve that. We achieve the expeditious and timely disposition of a case through a predictable system of case processing that sets expectations for everyone that's working in the system, for the parties, the public, and helps assure that the court provides ongoing supervision of the case process to ensure the efficient, timely, and fair disposition of each case. You will hear me mention predictability a number of times today, and that really is the cornerstone of an effective and efficient case flow management process. There is a great degree of predictability that something meaningful is going to happen at a court event, that there is not going to be a continuance as usual, that something meaningful that is either going to dispose of that case at that particular time or significantly lead to the disposition of the case in a timely fashion, that is predictable. And that is one of the goals, is to develop this predictability. Now, as an attorney, the transition from a system that doesn't have that into a predictable system it can be difficult at times. But the reality of it is, and for those that have practiced law, having a great degree of predictability in the court process really aids you in the preparation of the case, in the defense of the case, and so forth. It is a major factor in case flow management. It is very important, and it really goes to the benefit of the attorneys to understand that. Now, I was a criminal defense attorney for a number of years, and I remember how the system worked in my particular jurisdiction. There were hearings and cases that I knew were going to get continued only because they'd never been continued before. That was an expectation and so forth. There was very little predictability in terms of a meaningful hearing or event that led to the disposition of a case or resulted in the disposition of that hearing. So predictability is going to be very important in terms of setting up a system of case flow management, and we'll talk about how to get there.